Well, why are they upside down? That's throwing me off. Anyways, so this is the color blue. I believe it's based off of something called like the Colorbox mod or just the Colorbox. It's basically just what would certain sounds be like based on the color. So or like the opposite, basically what colors what would a color sound like? So what blue, red, pink, yellow, orange, green, purple, all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, listening to what blue would sound like. So this is the first color block. Color block? The fuck am I doing? Not color block, color box. For Incredibox. There we go. Um, Menu. Oh, there's lore behind this shit? Wait a minute, hold on. Lewis, 26 mil, 5'7". He's like 1 inch shorter than me. No, he's like 2 inches shorter than me because I'm 5'9". 5'7", human alive. Description: our top aquatic pathologist at our National Marine Research Laboratory. But at a cost, the man is insufferable, stubborn, rude, and has no regard for anything he says towards others. Despite being a total jerk, he has proven to be an incredibly valuable asset in gathering information about the sea's infection. I have to hand it to him. He is a very hard-working man. Other notes: he's not above using others as test subjects, but I have to regularly, my goodness, step in to combat his apathy towards people. Interesting. Mar, 31, male, 5'6", human, alive. One of Zephyr's old fishing buddies. The two used to fish in all types of waters, from seaside catamarans to ocean cabin boats. There wasn't a body of water they wouldn't cross. One day, however, while on a boat out in the ocean, Mar had some struggle wrangling a particularly large catch. Despite both of their combined strength, the hulking beast of a fish whipped Mar's line, sending him overboard. He was able to get back on board thanks to the deckhands, but now the fish that's stuck on him seems like it doesn't want to bulge. Unfortunately, Zephyr is down a fishing partner until further notice. Mar loved to fish by the bay connected to the sea. On the first day of the spreading infection, he begged me not to close the pier down. I wonder why. Carl and Carlos, 11. Damn. Mel, 4'8", 4'7", human alive. These twins are truly a sight to behold, rarely seen apart from each other. Carl and Carlos are each other's greatest supporters. Being the more energetic of the two, Carl makes it a point to take Carlos everywhere he goes, hoping the time they spend together can cheer him up from his unfortunate accident. What does that word even say? You see. Oh, that's C? Okay. Sorry, I was a little confused. I'm like, what the fuck is that even? Like, what? During the first few weeks of the C's infection, Carl and Carlos were spotted by the shoreline during a time before safety measures were implanted. Okay. As they played, the rising tide crashed against the shore, splashing water towards them, subsequently causing a droplet to land in Carlos's eye. He complained about its stinging pain and blurring vision. Within minutes, he lost complete function in the eye as small growths began to envelop his retina. Luckily, a complete removal of the eye prevented any further damage, but I have no doubt the boy hasn't been the same since. Their parents are always out in the open ocean, hardly ever home to look after them. Zephyr seems more than happy to take them under his wing, though. Poor kids. Poor Carlos. Zephyr, 28 male, 5'10", human alive. Just 1 inch taller than me, cool. One of the blue's most prolific fishers. Zephyr will tread any body of water for a good catch. His favorite fishing spots were always by the sea, relaxing in a chair with a cold drink in his hand. However, due to recent events, we've forbade all fishing activity until further notice. I hear he's trying to get used to fishing out in the deep waters by the ocean more often, but I have no doubt he misses the quieter atmosphere the sea provided. He's quite the kind hearted man, as many people see him as a bit of a father figure, especially towards younger individuals. What the fuck? Okay. Quincy, 38 male, 5'7", human, alive but infected. He had been a nutcase long before the infection reports began to appear. That drum he carries around was given to him to curb his self destructive tendencies, giving him something to expend his energy on, though he still manages to hurt himself by banging his head repeatedly on it. One day, during a hot summer, Quincy decided to quench his thirst by taking a sip of the sea's water. He was pulled away immediately afterward, but it was already too late. As the infection traveled to his brain, his lazy eye worsened, and his mania was exacerbated. It's theorized that the infection caused growths to develop within Quincy's brain, resulting in his current symptoms. Clinical testing must be conducted to know for certain. I just hope he doesn't pop a blood vessel or something before then. Despite being very mentally unstable, he has his moments of showing he has a good heart. It doesn't last for long, though. Oh no. Isaac, 19, male, 5'8", human, alive but mutated. Isaac always loved to sing by the sea, as he and his sister, Caitlin, would duet till sundown almost every day. His baritone voice and her soothing cello would travel all throughout, a duet many grew to be familiar with. One day, however, this ritual would soon be interpreted, sorry. No one knows for sure what happened, but passerby heard a yelp followed by a series of splashes before the both of them were gone. While many assumed they fell in, what they don't know is that it was an act of heroism. As Isaac tried to pull his sister out of the water, unfortunately a black, tar-like substance grabbed a hold of him, fusing him to the sea floor as his deep, resonating hum reverberates, wow, okay, anyways, through the water, hoping one day Caitlin will find him. Damn. The tar-like substance seems to be keeping him alive. Oh gosh. Camlight built 1.5 years ago in a 1.5 machine intact. These lightweight mobile cameras were a product of a surveillance project to truly see what goes on in the depths below, with their surprising durability and capability of being controlled remotely. They have been a tremendous help in uncovering information about the sea. With each new discovery, we are one step closer in being rid of this infection once and for all. One camera found the source of the humming at the bottom of the sea, along with finding where Isaac's been all this time. Tim, 18, male, 5'6", human, unknown. Back when our understanding of the infection was rather limited, Lewis orchestrated a program to have subjects participate in a volunteer orientation experiment. Out of the thousands of people living in Blue, only one person showed up. Poor boy had no idea what he was getting into. He was instructed to be contained in a glass chamber, hooked up to a cable. The idea was to have a live subject survey this area in case our remote cameras missed anything. In the event he needed to be pulled up, he was to shake the cable. Unfortunately, this distant warning call of a storm shook the sea, the cable shaking violently. In a panic the moment the chamber was pulled up. All that remained was shattered glass to this day. No one knows what happened to him. Dang. Poor dude. Storm spottings seem to have increased since then, for reasons unknown to us. Warren, 15, male, 5'3", human, alive. Young as hell, damn. An ex-captain of the Sea Guard Protection Force, or just Sea Guards for short, I thought him to be quite the reasonable kid, outperforming all of his peers, thus earning him the rank of captain. I was unfortunately mistaken in my assumption. Forgetful, airheaded, Instance after instance, people's lives were at risk under his negligence. I couldn't allow this to continue. I demoted him in favor of Model T's assistance, but he insists to still be a part of the team. Argues that since Model T isn't from Blue, he's not fit to be the captain. I make the calls, not him. Storn. That's Storn. Ew. Unknown, none, 5'8", Stornins. Species alive? Okay. Okay. Forticatus corny signator. I don't even know what the fuck I just said. Also known as Storm. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like that. Are humanoid creatures that live here we go again with the tongue rolling. Exclusively within the Blue Sea. It's unclear if they had began to appear due to the infection or if they were merely aquatic life that has mutated so heavily. They could be considered an entirely new species. Whatever the case may be, Storms appeared to be quite territorial animals, fiercely protective over their claimed domains, using their horned protrusions to sound a warning whenever they feel threatened. Their long, muscular tails are not only used in combat, but are also prehensile or prehensile, making them quite powerful creatures. Steer clear if you happen to come across one. The storm's usual body structure has led some extreme devoters of Aqua to believe the sea houses some form of power through the infection, claiming the creatures have been blessed with a humanoid form by Aqua themselves. Una, 22, male, 5'5", human, alive, infected. He was always seen a bit of a recluse, a spiritual soul who put his trust solely into the hands of Aqua, the god of the waters. We never doubted his faith, but it came into question not too long ago. For as long as we all can remember, he used to see as a ritualistic source, using the water for purification and such. The day he injured his face, he splashed the seawater on the wounds, claiming that Aqua's blessing would heal him. Not long after, his face grew twisted and grotesque, the open wounds festering into large, painful growths. I don't think anyone has seen Una leave the house since, but we still hear him play every now and then. He poured a lot of his heart and faith into his music. Suppose now it's the only thing he has at the moment. Octolin, 17, unknown, 6'2", octopus type, alive. Did not mean to do that. Whoops. A mysterious tentacled creature that was found halfway down the sea. It holds an ornately crafted cello, slightly warped by the sea's water comfortably, almost as if it's its own. Sometimes it likes to sit by the rocks across the shore and play before scurrying into the sea once spotted. If you're lucky and are by the sea before sundown, you can hear it play with the hum that emanates from below the sea, almost as if they're duetting. How curious. We have reason to believe this thing might not be a true octopus. If our theories are correct, we could be looking at something far more complex. It could be the sister. Just saying. If not the sister, I don't know. It could be somebody, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Model T, 32, male, 6'2", human, alive. What? Our allies in Purple knew of our infectious plight since the beginning, sending us technology and equipment to help bolster our research. However, it became clear to me that our weakness lied in our defenses, as the Sea Guards and their captain proved to be a failure. To our surprise, a kind-hearted philanthropist inventor from Purple stepped forward to remedy this, creating a fortified metal suit that could withstand the infected waters while ensuring maximum mobility. I appointed him as the new Sea Guard captain, placing my trust in his hands. Warren didn't even seem to be pleased about being demoted. And other notes helped break up the fight between Omar and King, as King was surprisingly strong during the fight thanks to the heads. King. Larry. Larry.
scariest stories. Larry came back knocking on my door. Little did I know, it might not be real Larry, but evil Larry.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna leave it to my something else. Larry. Okay. 25, male, 4'6", human, alive, recovering. Despite our rigorous attempts to protect our people from the sea, there were still those who weren't as knowledgeable about current events. According to Model T, Larry was wading in the sea's waters, practicing his guitar, seemingly unaware of the dangers. Just as he was pulled out, he began to complain about a searing pain that shot up his legs. It didn't take long for him to lose feeling from the waist down entirely. As large bulbous growths dug into his skin, amputating seems to have stopped the infection from spreading, as we are currently looking to get prosthetics commissioned as compensation. The guitar he holds was given to him by a friend. Unfortunately, they were recently lost to the infection. I can't imagine what he must be going through. Blabble Bush. What the fuck? 2 non-65 mutated Blabble Bush alive. These fruits are among Blue's most prized produce. Enjoyed by everyone far and wide, grown exclusively underwater, these sweet, slightly tart delicacies burst with flavor, the juice popping in your mouth the moment you take a bite, literally. Pause. This particular blabble bush, though, is special. Few bushes that grew by the sea began to mutate, most of which died from the infection. One, however, managed to survive, becoming bipedal and sentient, occasionally passing out blabbles to passerby fresh off the vine. Just be sure to disinfect it thoroughly. The small pockets of juice glow slightly when touched. King. Okay. King, I'm gonna need to question what I'm looking at, because why is there 3 of them? Okay, you know what? 19 male, 5'5", human, alive, infected. Many called him a loser, utterly spineless like a sponge. His so-called friends picked on him relentlessly until one day they made a deal. They would stop calling him names, but only if he proved to them he wasn't a coward. They dared him to jump into the sea and stay there for a few minutes, regardless of what happens to him. It only took a minute for Warren to notice the commotion, shooting the onlookers away and pulling King out. He didn't seem to be in any pain, so Warren sent him home. The next day, 3 grotesque heads began to sprout from his back. They don't even seem to be hostile, rather puppy-like in nature, but they do have some parasitic tendencies, symphoning all of King's energy into them. He's rather self-conscious of these creatures, hating how deformed it makes him look to others. But the heads care about the heads care about him deeply, basically. Perhaps that's why Omar's discomfort around him sets him off so easily. He has to eat 3 times more than the average person to sustain himself. Damn. Big back. Sorry. Omar, 18, male, 5'4", human, alive, infected. I saw a splash of green run through the trees, followed by a pained thud. It seemed to run away from Red, had run yet again. He seemed to be scared beyond belief, covered in leaves and grime from the aimless trek here. Taking him in and getting him cleaned up, I learned of his true name, Omar. Perhaps he trusted me with this information due to my hospitality. Still, he seemed quite protective over Mr. Time and the people of Red Town. Can't say I'm too surprised. I tried to get him to see the beauty in blue, taking him on a tour of the city. Didn't expect it to end up so poorly. His altercation with King caused him to ingest large amounts of seawater. The infection completely paralyzed his gut, resulting in something and bloating. While his breathing is a bit labored, he doesn't seem to be in critical condition. I'll continue to monitor his health, but there's only so much I can do for him. I might have to take him somewhere else to get him treated. So we got the blue having lore, and we hear stuff about technology and usage of items from purple. So I'm definitely going to check out purple 100% because I want to see how the lore will connect there. And then on top of that, now we got Red Town. Look. Let's go. Torch 15960 sentient torch alive. Why is it so damn tall? Anyways, these waterproof flames burn brightly across the city streets, as well as acting as beacons for those out in the open waters whose boats are too far from the lighthouse to reach. These blue flames have become somewhat of a symbol for us in the city, that, despite the odds, we remain ever vigilant, ever burning. This particular torch seems to be inhabited by a peculiar fire spirit that likes to hop from torch to torch. They don't seem to bother anyone though, so we chose to just leave them be. We're not sure where this flame spirit came from, but they seem very protective over the torches. Maria, 26 female, 6'3", mermaid, alive. A mermaid? Interesting. Why is she so damn tall? And, like, long by length. I don't know about wide, though. Mermaids are quite rare to come by these days, even rarely from them to be seaborn. Maria, however, is a unique exception. One of our sea guards found her beached. I don't even know idea what that means. Okay, unconscious and barely breathing. Oh, probably on the beach. Okay, got it. Interestingly, though, she seems rather resistant to the sea's infection, only having minor mutations on her face. Lewis opted to keep her contained in his lab for study, and while it seems rather cruel to keep her in containment, desperate times call for desperate measures. For her safety and the safety of others, perhaps her perspective on this infection can help us understand its, well, nature. Especially towards Lewis. I don't blame her, given how much she misses home. Okay, so before we get into the other ones, I'm gonna exit out of this and get this started. Let's try this out. Okay, that was weird. What does this one sound like?
Cursed waters of the sea.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Through the pain we stand, and Lord will stand up with me. Cursed waters of the sea. Through the pain we stand, and Lord will stand up with me. Cursed waters of the sea. Through the pain we stand, and Lord will stand up with me.
Okay. Let me get to the last... Oh, whoops. No, that is not what I wanted to do. Oh, my ears. Oh, my ears. Where is the last... Okay. Oh, that's a woman? I did not know that. Vo, 42 female, 6 foot, for some reason, robot functioning. For generations, the city of Blue has stood tall against the nagging thorn in our side that is Red Town. What is up with Red Town? Bickering that's older than many of us. I was built to upload the responsibility of this city's safety and prosperity, but even with our leaders gone, Red still continues to poke at us like a... What does that even say? Petulant? Oh, it is. Child, not this time. No, since there is one variable that's changed, our leaders never took the fight to each other. I plan on ending this squabbling once and for all, and Mr. Time's leave to the forest is the perfect opportunity. However, that boy, Omar, he changes things. I wonder if I can get him to see the truth about Red. He could pose a valuable asset. My time in Red was uneventful, much to my surprise. What is this stuff? Blue virus, current findings. Interesting. Theories. Y'all can pause this if y'all want to read that. Flora. Damp palm, azer pepper. Interesting kelp. Globe thistles, cornflowers. Blue stars, blueberries, blue corn, juniper berries. Fauna. Rocky seal. Fauna with that. Interesting. That is definitely very different than I expected. Though I will say, that's a lot of people. Whoa! I was not trying to do that. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna head on out. Kiki out.